right. Good afternoon, and I'd like to echo all the other speakers who've thanked you for having us here. This is my first trip to not just to Porto, but to Portugal, and it's really a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to talk about social media, which is obviously technologies are facilitating. So what we have really is, if you want to sort of sum up what's happening before we get into some more details, we've sort of got the online social networking, so Facebook in some sense, and we're sharing our lives, essentially. Some of that will be consumption related. So Facebook isn't wanting us as consumers to go out and sort of list all the purchases we make, but if I happen to talk about a brand or I just mention it, then that's going to pop up in feeds, and now advertisers can buy those mentions and create ads saying that Andrew mentioned Nike, and will pop up in my friend's sidebar on Facebook. So it's sort of combining an advertisement with just the sort of the social element. But then I mentioned it because we're more likely to pay attention if it mentions a friend's name than if it doesn't. So that's what Facebook and those sorts of MySpace, if it still really was thriving, would be as well. Then we have location sharing. So things like Foursquare, Facebook Places. Another example is called Gowalla. And here it's really about checking in and showing my location. And so that's giving information to potential advertisers. But I can also get information as a user from that because I could see where my friends are. So it helps me find people in the real world. But it also helps me identify places to go. So if I check into a restaurant, say using this Foursquare app on my iPhone, and I write a little, they would call it a tip. So I can write a tip and say, this is a great restaurant. Then next time any of my friends are in that area, if they're using the app, it could say, well, Andrew has been to this restaurant and he said it's a great restaurant. And so I can sort of leave a digital trail, if you will, and people who are connected to me can pick up on that and use that information. So we have that. We have rapid real-time messaging. So Twitter is the great example of that. Content sharing in a huge global network. And then last, we have the mobile devices that are facilitating all of this and making people find it really, really, really easy to communicate. So what we're seeing is what I would call a communications revolution.